90% silver, 40% silver, 35% silver. I think all of us should have a little bit of each in our stacks. I'm going to explain why I think that. I also want to touch on, is it a good idea to put silver and gold on credit cards and pay off when you get the bill? I'm going to let you guys know my opinion on that one. I do it. I'm going to guys let you know how I do it. So please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for getting me over 5,000 subscribers. We are currently sitting at 5,011 subscribers. Now I'm the new goal for January is I'm trying to get to 5,100 subscribers. We got about a week to do it, folks. I think we can do it with your support. Thank you all again. Let's just get into the video right now. Look, I like 90% silver. I like 40% silver. I even like the 35% or nickels. The reason why I like all of these three, all three are going to be good for a barterable situation. All right, just a barterable situation in trade from peer to peer, friends to friends, family to family, whatever the case may be. I think we will get into that situation. How soon is that going to come? Look, I don't know. But I'm telling you, I'm stacking as much of this stuff as I can possibly afford to stack. Let's start off with the 90% silver. Most of us know about the 90% silver. U.S. coins, half dollars, dimes, and quarters, minted from 1964. Most of them have 90% silver content. That's your Mercury dimes. That is your Walking Liberty half dollars. That's your Kenley half dollars. 1964 only in that series. That is your Franklin halves. That is your Roosevelt silver dimes, your Mercury dimes, your silver quarters, your Washington silver quarters, Stain Liberty, Barbara silver quarters, Barbara dimes. The list goes on and on and on. I think I hit most of them that we are mostly familiar with. Yes, most of my dimes, you just don't see any on the screen today, but most of the dimes that I own are Roosevelt silver dimes. The reason why I go with the Roosevelt silver dimes, they have less wear and tear on them. People say on the Roosevelt silver dimes, you can't recognize their silver. Yes, the dates are small. All you do is flip them on the sides and see their silver. Get a little jeweler's loop. And really, these little jeweler's loops are only going to cost about 10 bucks or so. Maybe a little bit less on Amazon. They're not that expensive. That is a good tool to have. I prefer the ones that light up, have a little light on them. You pay a little bit more for them, but I really got a good deal at the time that I bought that one. I believe it was around 12 or 13 bucks on that jeweler's loop. I do have a couple of them. We use those type of style at the shop sometimes, but a lot of times we just put stuff underneath the microscope because the dimes are kind of, the Roosevelt silver dimes are hard to tell. Yes, if you look at the dates, you know, to get a key date or just whatever the case may be. Yes, people's eyes are not that great for most of us, I would say. And, you know, sometimes it is hard to look at the dates. The dimes are, that's why some people go with the Mercury dimes. And they're more recognizable. They're silver. You know they're silver. But they have a little bit more wear and tear on them. That is, I don't get a lot of Mercury dimes. Some of them you see have a little bit of wear and tear on my Mercury dimes. I love the Mercury dimes. Don't get me wrong. All right? I'm not saying I don't like them. I like it all. So, you know, then people, you know, a lot of people at first, you know, back, you know, when silver was $50 back in 2011, people thumb their nose at 90%. It's junk. It's no good. It's not worth anything. Well, when it comes time to buy and trade, look, you guys, I do the numbers every single week on a Saturday, right? What the stuff melts for. I do that weekly. Every single Saturday morning, I do this weekly with the market, 90% market report. So I'm updating you every single week on those prices alone. Some people love the 40% silver halves. They were minted from 1965 to 1970. Please note, on the 1970, they were only done in proofs. They were not made for circulation. So if you see a 1970, you're going to see an estimate mark on it. And that was a proof. They do cost a little bit more. I don't go after the 1970s. I could care less about the 1970s. I'll be honest with you. I do have a couple that I have put away. They're in BU shape. I got a good deal on them. I bought them. All right, I just bought them because I didn't have any, and that's not something I particularly go after in, that type of silver at all. Yes, I own some. I don't own a lot. The less minted out of that series is the 1965s. Sometimes, not all the time, the 1965s seem to have a little bit more of a premium on them, but really, no. Some people try to jack up the 1965s. I won't pay for it. All right, there's still enough of them out there. So with that being said, look, someone made a comment 2 or 3 weeks ago in one of my videos about 40% silver halves. Really, the value is about 2 silver dimes. That is about the same value of a 40% silver. I think that was a beautiful comment all around. Look, you can get, people will learn very quickly when stuff comes crashing down what 90% silver is, what 40% silver is, and what 35% war nickels are. People will learn they are silver. Why not stack some? I'm not saying stack a whole bunch of 40%ers. I do. I love them, all right? I do own quite a few of the 40% silver halves. So with that being said, when people don't want something, that's when I want it. Me personally, okay? We don't sell a ton at the shop. Our owner loves them too much. We have a price on them. They're over melt value. He's selling them for $5 a pop. So $5, so $100 a roll. And I try to get them cheaper elsewhere on eBay, bullion dealers, if they have a melt value special. Look, Bullion Exchanges just had a deal on them. $100 face, 200 coins for melt. Yes, it was over $900 for that deal. A lot of people don't have $900. You guys know I shop on eBay. I get little lots at a time. That's how you build your stack with the 40s. A little bit at a time. Look at Sobriety in Silver Channel. I've told you guys about him many times. And that's how he stacks. A little bit at a time with the 40s and the war nickels. So with that being said, people don't realize you buy a little bit here, you buy a little bit there, it all adds up. Whether it's 90%, 40%, 35% war nickels, it all adds up. At the end of the day, it's all something. It's all silver. It adds ounces to your stack. So why not pick them up at melt value if you can? Talk about the war nickels for a minute before I get into the credit cards. War nickels were minted from 1942 to 1945. The way to tell of a war nickel, they're going to have a big mint mark on the back of the dome. Note though, all 1942 nickels are not war nickels. It's about a half and half year. If you happen to have a 1942 and does not have a PDNS on the back of the dome, it is not a war nickel. Please be advised of that. And be advised, if you are buying these online, especially eBay, please make sure you ask the seller first. They all have the mint marks on the back. Someone will show you a full picture of what they have. That's how I do it. I don't buy the wrap rolls and assuming they're all war nickels. I've had a few problems with that, and I email the seller back and say, hey, look, you said these 20 were all war nickels. Some people just don't know. All right, that's how it is. Some people think all 1942 war nickels are 35% silver, which they are not, once again. So I mentioned I messaged the seller back. He apologized. He says, I'm so sorry. I'll give you a refund on the 3 of them. And I showed him, this is what you sent me. Here's the package. Here's the tracking label. This is what you sent me. He gave me not the full refund, but the money back on the credit card. And he said, and he was very sorry. Good. He refunded. He did the right thing. Case closed. Didn't have to get eBay involved. But, I think some people just don't know that when they're selling, they know the years, and they see 1942, and it's not happened to be a war nickel as well. I offer to ship them back if he want to pay. He says, no, just keep them. Well, look, even if they're not war nickels, those nickels are still worth about 85 cents each from the year itself. Depending on the condition, some of them are worth more. I stack the war nickels too. Think about it. Silver really takes off going to the roof. Everything's going to go up in value. And, you know, a good drop place right now, if you have to sell them, would be on eBay. You get a better price on eBay than you would at your local coin shops. The same thing with your 40% silver hats. You will get a better rate back on them. I'm buying them for the future. I'm not worried about the price now. Let me just start there. I'm not worried about the price now. I'm looking 5, 10 years, 15 years down the road what the value of silver is going to be. We have to look down the road. We can't always think about now, what's going to happen now, what's going to happen next week. That don't bother me. My belief is silver will have its day. And when silver has its day, your 90% silver is going to be worth a lot more than it is now. Your 40% silver and your 35% war nickels will have a better price down the road. That is just my belief, folks. You know, I do believe everybody should have at least some in their stack. I know some people don't like the 35% nickels or the 40% hats. That's fine. Don't want them, that's fine. I got no problem with that. We all entitled to stack what we want to stack, right? So I'm just trying to help people get more silver in their stack. It might be a little bit junkier, let's call it that way, if you want to call it that way, but at the end of the day, it's still some silver. So with that being said, let's just move on to, is it a good idea to buy silver and gold on credit cards? Look, we know credit cards have interest on their credit cards. If you happen to have a new credit card, you have 0% financing. Brand new, you're making your first time purchase, whether it's at a coin shop, online, whatever the case may be. The credit card's offering 5% back. Look, find out what the price difference is paying it on the credit card from these online bullion dealers. See if it validates that 5% kickback that you would get. You have 12 months to finance it with no interest. And you can break that up in 12 monthly payments. Think about it that way. Now, I use Chase Bank. Every now and then, Chase Bank will offer me, if I pay, you know, they will send me an offer. If I buy anything over $100, they'll get me 6 months, 12 months to pay for it. There may be $1.50, $1.85 in a fee to do, instead of paying that 30% interest, wherever the interest rate is. That is a good offer. That's not that much to pay more to get something like that. Keep the book open. What I'm trying to say is, you know, think about down the road. Is it worth this extra $20 in the year to do it this way versus what silver and gold are going to be later on? Think about it that way. I don't like interest. Sometimes I do pay a little bit of interest on the credit card. You know, I see a good deal, I go after it, boom, done. All right, I pay $15 in interest, $10 in interest. Is it a great idea? Probably not, okay? I'm going to admit that. I'm not a financial advisor, so let's be very clear about that. We got to think outside the box sometimes. So with that being said, you know, no, I don't recommend all the time putting on a credit card. But if there's a deal too good to be had, and it's real silver and gold, and you know the person you're buying it from, or you know the company you're buying it from, like an online bullion dealer or your local coin shop, they take credit cards, whatever. We just started taking credit cards early last year. I finally got the owner to take credit cards. We only charge a 3.5% fee. The credit card company charges us about 3%, 2.9%, depending on the bank itself. So we cover ourselves on the back end with that little bit of higher rate. We don't see a lot of credit card buying. We do see some. But with that being said, you know, we try not, because it is a little bit of higher fee on that. Places like eBay. Now, I want to get into this for one quick moment. I use the Capital One app on the desktop. Right now, eBay is offering that Capital One program right now on a lot of items on eBay. It don't have to be coins. It don't have to be bullion at all. You know, I was looking around for my grandma's electric toothbrush broke the other day, last night. So I was looking around on Amazon. It was $109 on Amazon for the one she really wanted. Capital One popped up. Hey, look, there's a deal over here on eBay for $64 bucks. So I'm looking at this one. Guy out of Texas. All right, brand new in the box. 100% feedback. Over 1,200 feedbacks. I got it. Capital One popped up again, saying you're going to receive 5.5% back. Then I'm going to get another 3% back on the credit card that goes to the credit card. Hey, that's another 8.5% back, right? Folks, use these programs like the Capital One shopping app, like the Honey program, like if you're using Microsoft computer, you have Microsoft Edge. You do get money back. On the Capital One, though, you don't get directly the money back. You get the money back on gift cards. So it could be a Walmart gift card. It could be an eBay gift card. It could be an Omaha Steak gift card. There's multiple gift cards you can choose from. On the eBay gift card, before you get that gift card, it's at least $25 threshold that you need that money in your account. You cannot use it on silver or gold. You can't use it on any products with silver and gold. You have to use something else. I learned that lesson the hard way. So I'm just trying to pass that on. I use CVS. I use Omaha Steaks from time to time. I let the money build up in these accounts to get the money. On the Microsoft Edge, you would have to use a PayPal account. Send the money to your PayPal account. You can transfer that money to your bank account. The same thing with Honey as well. It's easy to have a PayPal account with that program as well. And it's actually cash. It's not a gift card. So you just transfer your PayPal account. You take the money from your PayPal account. You transfer to your bank account. That's how when you actually get cash that way. I don't mind using the gift cards because I do shop at some of these places. You know, have a look at it, folks. See if there's a gift card on Capital One shopping app that you use, and why not? It's like getting, you know, it's still money. It's just not, you're not spending money out of your own pocket. Just as a gift card to shop at that place. You're gonna use it anyways. So why not have some extra money back in your own wallets? That's all I'm saying. So if you have questions about this, you have questions about silver, gold, or platinum, my email is always in the description of every single video. It's still cold down here in Florida. We're going to have another cold snap. It's going to get a little bit colder here over the weekend. We're not used to it here. We're going to bundle up. We're going to get through it all. And I'll be back later this afternoon with another video. So if you're not yet like, share, or subscribe with this video, you're not yet subscribed, please join us. It's absolutely free to join us. Thank you all very much. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay warm out there. Stay safe. See you on the next video.